Hi, I'm Lindsay with Shrimp Salad Circus, and today I'm going to show you how to create a watercolor paint chart. This is what our end result is going to look like, and one of the reasons you might make something like this, besides just having a cool piece of art to hang on the wall, is that it's actually a functional color mixing guide. So it's something that's fun to create every time you get a new paint palette, so let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to need for it is just a ruler, a pencil, eraser. You do want to make sure you're using watercolor paper to keep it from buckling, your paints, and a palette, and some math, a pretty good bit of math. Your numbers are going to depend on how many colors you're using. I'm going to use 7 colors today, so I am going to create a 7x7 grid. Don't press too hard, but don't worry about making your lines dark because you're going to erase it later. So I've already marked myself some little dots. And just work your way along it until you have a 7x7 grid. Okay, so now that I've created my grid, what I want to do is start prepping it for the color. So the 7 colors I'm using are magenta, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, and violet. So what I'm going to do is in the margin, I am going to write down each color, and I'm actually just going to put an initial. Okay, so now I'm going to go down the left column, the left margin, and I'm going to do the exact same thing in the exact same order. So magenta, orange, yellow, green, blue, dark blue, and violet. That's going to tell us where we're going to place our colors. So where M and M for magenta line up is where we're going to paint the magenta. To the same end, where the G and the G line up for green is where we're going to end up painting the green. So what that ends up being is a diagonal down the middle of our base colors. So I'm going to go ahead and start prepping my paint palette. And I'm not going to need a lot of paint, so I'm just going to do a little dot of each color. Okay, so I'm going to start by painting my magenta square. And I don't tape them off. You could if you're worried about getting outside the lines, but I don't mind it. So I'm just using an angled brush. And if you find that you've placed too much paint or it's feeling like it's really wet, you can just dab it right off with a paper towel like that. And I'm just going to go through in color order right down that diagonal. Okay, so this next part is going to get a little bit more complicated, but it'll make sense as soon as you get started. So what you're going to do is match up your column and row. So for this one, we have O for orange here and M for magenta here. So we're going to mix together orange and magenta and paint them into this space. To the same end, we have the M and the O right here. So we're going to have that same color here. So you're going to end up having duplications where each color combination is going to be painted down twice. So over here, we have dark blue and green. So we're going to mix dark blue and green, and that's going to get painted into this space. Over here is dark blue and green, it's going to go here. So you're just going to do a lot of repetition all the way down. So let's get started. Okay, so that's the last square, and I'm gonna set it aside to dry, and then when it's done, I'll just show you how to finish it off. Okay, so we are all dry now, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way and then erase the pencil marks, and then it's gonna be finished. And I like to use a gum eraser rather than like your typical pink eraser because it lifts off the pencil without making those little eraser fuzzies everywhere. And as soon as it's dry, you can just go right over the paint with your eraser and not worry about messing anything up, and that's gonna pick up all those little lines in between everything. Okay, so that is all finished, and here is our functional watercolor paint chart. If you're gonna use this for actual color mixing, then you could go along the side and the top and label your colors with a pen to remind yourself for later, but this would also look really nice framed on the wall.